Good morning and welcome to the project kickoff meeting for the strategic compensation platform for Liberty Mutual Insurance. We'd like to start with introducing ourselves, followed by the project context, the project overview, the project objectives, the project scope and deliverables, the solution alternatives, and finally the recommendation for strategic compensation. For introductions, from the Liberty Mutual side, we have Barbara Arthurton, who is the Liberty Director, Commercial Insurance, Systems Integration and Project Sponsor. Julia Clark, who is the Liberty Senior IT Project Manager. Christine Haley, who is the Liberty Director of Application Portfolio and Software Development. Daniel Koleb, who is the Liberty Manager of Application Portfolio and Software Development. Matt Gamble, who is the Liberty Technologist and Systems Administrator. Kevin Heisler, the Liberty Lead, Commercial Insurance Systems Integration. On the Allegiant side, we have me, Shantanu Gavai, the Allegiant Senior Project Manager, and Mandy Ogonowo, who is the Allegiant Senior Business Analyst. For the project context, the need for change, the efforts to date, the project constraints, and the target audience of recommendations all ties down with the introduction of the purpose of the strategic compensation program, which is a buy versus build assessment project. It is used to provide a recommendation on whether to buy or build a solution for compensation for Liberty Mutual Insurance. This entails capturing high-level business requirements, current areas of pain and opportunities for improvement as they pertain to Liberty Mutual's commercial insurance compensation process. The selection refinement process for the buy versus build assessment on whether or not to buy a compensation program or to build a compensation program all ties down on whether we need to buy or build a decision. Now, the build or buy decision falls right between the cost and benefits of where we stand today. The RFP, the proof of concept, the cost, the benefits, the technical architecture, the capability overlap, the market research, and the relevant market plus build options all tie down to being a winner. But for that, today, at our current state, we are right between a 5 to 10 mark to a 2 to 5 mark of whether we need to buy it or build it. The package considerations follows the package functionality and the requirements. The requirements are on the Liberty Mutual Insurance side, followed by the package functionality of whether we buy it or build it. So for instance, if we are buying a package functionality, our requirements are 100 and the package functionality may have 200 components that can tie up to our requirements. For example, a package functionality may have a lot of unused features, while the requirements may have a few gaps. But for our fit, we have something right in the middle over there. The gap is covered through extensions, custom mode, base product modification, and future product roadmaps. While the unused features are just unused, which we may even call a waste of money. But the gaps are something which may be relevant to our future needs or are even pertaining to our current needs. The fit is where we need to have at least basic requirements tied down with the package functionality. For the objectives, we'd have a decision for modernization approach for the strategic compensation platform. We'd be understanding the organization's appetite for this initiative based on compelling documented rationale. The buy-in of stakeholders via involvement in the process by affected end users delegates is also very important. The alignment with business strategy for commercial insurance compensation and the work products related will be reused for future phases. The scope definition for this phase are in scope, the primary scope and purpose of the strategic compensation work effort surrounding overall business strategy as it relates to commercial insurance compensation functions. We'd be preparing for SME sessions, we'd be having a current state analysis, a future state analysis, a solution alternatives, and a recommendation. The out of scope areas are the strategic compensation work effort or activities relating to any personal insurance products. No detailed functional or technical requirements would be mapped. The recommendation of a specific commercial off-the-shelf or a COTS solution would be out of scope. The procurement of a COTS solution would also be out of scope, followed by the implementation of any COTS solution will be out of scope. We'd be breaking it down from phase to phase with the SME preparation, the current state, the future state, the product evaluation, and the recommendation. For SME preparation, we'd be understanding business needs and drivers and defining vision solution, which means in the SME preparation phase, we'll be going from SME to SME, trying to understand their current systems and the current state decompositions for the current state. For future state, we'd be asking SMEs what are their high level business requirements and how would they want the strategic compensation product to look like. For the product evaluation, we will be conducting gap analysis and cost comparison analysis between a buy solution and a build solution. For the recommendation phase, we'll be analyzing compilations and a formal assessment presentation would be conducted. For the SME preparation phase, there will be an overview of understanding business needs and drivers and defining a vision for solution, which means we would be going from SME to SME, conducting meetings to find out what their needs are for their basic business functions. For example, for commissions, we'll be going to an SME of commissions and we'll be understanding their needs of how the commissions compensation system should be designed and what are their basic high-level requirements for the commissions compensation system. For the current state analysis, we will be overviewing and validating and expand upon existing documentation of the current state. We will be documenting existing business pain points. We will be completing a technical assessment and a technical pain points of current state. And we would have SME review sessions of identifying subject areas. The deliverables for this phase would be conducting current business state summary per functional area. Now, the commercial insurance functional areas for compensation include commissions, internal incentives, profit sharing, compensation, reporting, modeling, instant incentives, and mutual partners. These are all tied down with the compensation system which we would want to have for our future state. We'd be going to SMEs from commissions to internal incentives to profit sharing and so on, and trying to gather all the high level requirements from them and try to conduct our analysis based on these requirements and then go to vendors and also see if we can build a solution instead of buying. For the future state analysis, we will be eliciting and documenting future state business requirements in SME sessions. We will be prioritizing of identified business needs and requirements. The deliverables on this phase will be business requirements per functional area, which are the same as stated earlier in the current state analysis. For the solution alternatives for this project are overviews of the complete, refreshed review and assessment of the options previously considered, which is a build or a buy, a borrow, or a potential hybrid solution. We would be evaluating solutions against identified requirements. We would be associating quantifiable costs and potential benefits for the identified solutions and identifying process opportunities to assist in producing a future CBA. The deliverables on this phase would be a gap analysis and a benefit statement. The recommendation at the end would be to compile the requirements, the gap analysis, the cost and benefit analysis, and final recommendation into a formal assessment of options associated with the pros and cons. We will have a resource plan that identifies the needs for future steps. We will have to present findings to the project team and stakeholders and determine next steps. The deliverables in this phase would be recommendation documents. The guiding principles for this project would be to focus on business problems and not the solution and not on activities that got us there in the past. We'll be utilizing the communication plan for interaction with SMEs and stakeholders. The number of technical skill sets will be minimized. The communication will be ongoing to demystify status and the outcomes. Future state will align with IT tech vision. Delegates are empowered to represent their organization for decision making. Modernization will be used as an opportunity for improved outcomes such as efficiency, effectiveness, and usability. Please let us know if you have any questions and comments. And that is the end of the kickoff session. Thank you all for joining.